Welcome to Urban Homesteading. Today we're going to take you along as we install trim, we continue the tiling process, and we install a backsplash in our vanity. So stick around, it will be fun. Welcome to another episode of the Urban Homesteading channel. I'm Professor DIY, behind camera is Elpida, and behind the scenes is Mrs. DIY. We're continuing the saga of the finishing bathroom, the story, and today we're going to show you some very cool things. How to replace trim that you had to remove for whatever reason. In our case, it was to be able to fit this furniture in this space, right?
Right.
But sometimes you need to remove it because it is damaged or you're changing it, whatever, right? So we're going to show you how to install trim and make it look good. We're going to show you how to install a backsplash and use caulking on the top and caulking in the mating surface to also make it look good. And we're going to show you the beginning of the vertical tiling in our shower stall. Stick around, this is going to be a very good episode. In our last episode, we showed you how to remove trim in case to either replace it with something new or different, or as in our case, because it was required for doing some of the process you wanted to complete. In our case, again, it was to install our new vanity. So after we showed you in detail how to remove the trim, we're going to show you next how to reinstall trim in a way that no one will ever know you removed it and you replaced it. So stick around and we're going to show you always every step of the way, along with tips and tricks of the trades. Thank you. So the professionals that built our house decided to use staples instead of finishing nails because staples, you know, are ugly and they shouldn't be used for this application, which is very nice for us now because guess what? We have to remove them. So let's try and see, can we remove them?
That's nice.
Oh yeah, baby, that's it.
Now this is a special tool.
This tool truly made this job very easy, but it by no means necessary. You can use any normal pry tool and you can achieve that. It will just take a little more time and a little more effort. It goes nice and I wouldn't say effortless, but it's very easy, right?
It's pretty effortless actually.
Much easier than using a hammer, and sometimes the right tool makes a difference. As you saw, this tool works very well, and there are many manufacturers that use this specific tool. This specific one is made by Crescent, and it is the tool name is NP2. Very unimaginatively, but very, very good tool, right? We originally purchased it when we're doing a lot of pallet work to remove nails from pallets, and it worked really well for that. And definitely we have found more use for it. Pulling nails out from trim or any place you want to remove nails, it virtually leaves no mark. And it is very easy it gives you the best leverage possible, right?
Right.
So we really recommend that, and I will put it in our store.
Right. And just again to show you, that's what it does. So it provides that real nice smooth action to bring the...
And we will put it in our Amazon store if you're interested in purchase one. As a reminder, we do get a small commission if you buy from our Amazon store. That helps the channel but doesn't cost you anything extra. Before you install the new trim, take either a 5-in-1 tool or a spatula or something sharp that you can remove any remainder paint or slithers that will make your product not look exactly finished. Exactly finished?
Exactly.
Semi-finished. Unfinified. Those are new words, people. El fantastico. And again, here, the sharper your tool, the easier this process will be.
Right.
In our case, we are liking punishment, so we're not using a very sharp tool, but it does the job.
I used the one I could find.
Yeah.
Really.
Because every time we sit down to do something, we discover we need another tool. So we have to go back and forward to the shop, and we decided not to this time.
Right.
Using a lever to ensure that your tiles are very, very level is a very good idea, and if you have one, please use it. This is a little unorthodox, but out of abundance of care, in order not to puncture the membrane, we're only putting mastic on the tile itself and not on the membrane, afraid that we might puncture it, even though we have no indication that this membrane has any difficulties with absorbing a little bit of pressure. In any case, you do not have to do this. This is our idea. So we're doing a little unorthodox tiling here, almost like brick laying, where this first row of tile goes only on the membrane. So we do not know how well the mastic will adhere to the membrane. So we're doing an experiment first. We have marked the tile, so we're going to use our laser and line it with the mark we made in the middle of the tile. to make sure that this tile is exactly at the middle of the shower.
And level. He said we're also using the level line, the horizontal one, to make sure the tile is also level.
Press it hard. So now we're using the next tile to determine where we're going to cut it. And in our specific case, we're going to have to cut 2 out of 3 tiles on every row, at least in the back. Maybe in the sides will be better, but we'll see. Having a level laser definitely will make the process here much easier and faster, but definitely it's not necessary. Lasers have become much cheaper these days, and I think it's the best way when you tackle a project like that in order to improve your accuracy overall. So now we're going to cut our tile to the correct dimension. And we have our cheap little Harbor Freight saw.
Hey, don't knock the saw.
Don't knock the saw. Just like that, we have a cut tile.
Yeah.
It's a little messy process, but you know.
It's a very messy process, but you know.
But it works.
Yeah.
There.
And as you can see, we had a...
You know, you can just take this on the other side. So. Tile saws are very inexpensive these days. We purchased this one for about $40 at Harbor Freight, and without it, it will take us much longer, and probably our accuracy will not be as good. So purchasing one if you have to do a project that requires more than a couple of tiles is a great idea and pays for itself. Additionally, when you are done, you can sell it on the marketplace and you can recover most if not all of your costs. This is the second saw we bought, and we did the same thing with the first saw. After we finished using it, we sold it for exactly the amount of money we bought it. So great idea. So we brought the replacement trim that is identical to what we have before, and the easiest way to do this is bring it here and mark where the inside part of our corner will be. Then we're going to go and cut it, do the same on the other side, and this area will be retrimmed. So at the miter saw, we're going to make a miter. What a novel idea, right? And when you make your marks, make sure that, like in our case, we mark the lower part of the angle, right? Mm-hmm. So make sure that you are on the correct part, or you mark correct. I mean, if you wanted to mark the top, you can. We chose the bottom. It's not an important thing.
Okay, there you go. PSA, public announcement.
If you want your air tools to last a long time, don't forget before every use to put a dab of oil. You don't need to overdo it. I know some people are very concerned about overdoing it. If you do, it's going to just spill it out. It might make the finish of your project a little less desirable, but it's not going to kill anything. So Alpida, why you're at an angle there?
Because the
fire.
The trim had a bow in it, so we're trying to make it line up and make sure that the nail catches the wood and holds it there.
And actually, contrary to what you have been told all your life, this is the correct way to do it. It's not straightforward, because that provides the least holding power, right? Mm-hmm. If you go at an angle, can you show? Just pretend we don't need to. If you go at an angle, go straight now. As you can see, if I pry here, it will come straight out, right? Mm-hmm. But if you tilt it, if I pry here, now it will be much harder, right? Mm-hmm. It is not impossible, it's not a perfect connection, but it is a better connection. Right. This is a tedious and slow process, but for continuity, we want to show you how we're progressing slowly but steadily with the tiling. Probably next week we're going to be close to finishing this project, but in any case, we are getting very, very close. We're very excited about the whole thing. So white caulking is going to make everything looks like it's supposed to. It takes away any imperfections, and we're going to put it over the little holes too, right? Mm-hmm. And then when we refresh the paint in the house and we put another coat of paint over it, it will just disappear completely. And again, using nothing but the latest technology in this channel, we're using the state-of-the-art caulking applicator, known as your digit. Which digit is that? Is that important, Elvira?
Not really.
No, the digit is not important?
No.
Can you do one of the whole things, the little holes?
The little holes, sure. You got it?
Yeah. So this really makes them disappear, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, if you paint it, no one will know it was there.
Right.
And as you can see here, as we are cooking, you see there you cannot even see the joint anymore. And if we go down here, you can see the joint. So here I will stay in this area. And you can see the joint in front of your eyes disappear, just like a magic act.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. That is a necessary step, right? The caulking.
Yeah.
You got to do that. So I want to show you the before. You can see here, you can actually see the little holes that the brad nails do. And you can clearly see the separation between the new trim and the old trim. And we're going to show you after we finish with the caulking, and you're going to see the big difference, especially on this joint up here.
So here is the after on this. And you can see how that seam just disappears. And then when you come back behind it with paint, you'll never even know it was there.
Our next step is to permanently attach the backsplash to the wall and then put a bit of clear silicone between the backsplash and the surface of the vanity, so we'll not have any water intrusion behind it. So of course the first step will be to remove the backsplash from behind the wall and place it face down so we can apply silicone bead on the back. So be very liberal. This is what is going to hold it, like do an S. At this point our caulking gun starts malfunctioning. We're not sure if we did something wrong or it is the gun that has gone bad, but as you can see here, it was not giving us a nice bead. We have to figure out exactly what happened, and we're going to let you know in the next episode. We experienced technical difficulties with our other gun, so we switched to a more traditional one. We're not sure if it was our mistake or not. We'll see when we use a new silicone tab, right?
Mm-hmm.
It might have been our doing, it might have not been our doing. And here in the middle, put a big slot because we know that the wall has a big dip there, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Put a little bit more over here. Okay.
So now we're going to lift it and put it back on in its position. We're going to hold it there for a few minutes to ensure that it does not go anywhere. We don't want it walking, so position it. You have a little bit of time to set it exactly where you want it, right and left. Center it correctly. You're too much to the left.
I imagine so.
And once you're happy, just press it to the wall. Excellent. Also, we're going to put a bit of silicone on the top, of white silicone on the top.
Okay.
Okay.
You want me to do that now?
No, because it's not adhered yet. I mean, if you want, you can, but I don't know if that will work. Try it. I can hold it. So you can see here our little gap on top, and we'll see if we can. So as you can see, the white silicone made a very nice seal and makes it look very finished. The last step for this installation to put white, clear silicone between the main surface and the backsplash right there. And that is just to prevent water from finding its way behind the cabinet, something we do not want to happen. I'm not even sure it's necessary because it's not very likely that water will go there, but for now that's the plan and we're sticking to it. And you can see Elpida here applying the clear silicone. The process is identical, and then we're going to use the high-tech faucet. Makes it harder to go through, but you know, we will, I don't know what the word I'm looking for.
Prevail.
We will prevail. There you go. That is the right word. So the tiling is progressing. As you can see, it is a fairly slow process, specifically because we're using small tiles, right? If these were 4x8 tiles, it would have been almost done by now, but the smaller the tile, the more work there is. It will take some time. We're not going to finish it today. Definitely you will not see it finished in this episode. Maybe you see it finished in the next episode. But for now, we're progressing very nicely, as you can clearly see. So this is our third episode for today. We are very pleased with the way the trim looks. In fact, I think if you don't point it out to someone, they wouldn't know we removed it and reinstalled it.
Right.
even though this is brand new and the rest of it is quite old, right? We're also very pleased with the way our top looks. The caulking has been fantastic in both areas, even though I forgot the trick that I know about caulking. So I guess in our next caulking adventure, I will share you the trick.
You'll share the ticks and trips.
I'll share the trips and ticks.
Okay.
What else we're doing? We're in the process of continuing the tiling in our area.
Shower.
In the shower. And that will take a little bit of time, so we're not going to be done with that tomorrow. But definitely we are moving towards the end of this project, right? This area is about finished other than the mirror.
Yep.
And we're very, very pleased with how it looks. We have to do some minor things like protect the grout lines.
Sealing the grout.
Sealing the grout. And here we're going to do that today, but on the shower stall we're going to do it when everything is done. All grouting is done.
When all the tile and all the grouting is ready.
We hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, we'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the other button twice. Share, like, subscribe. Let us know, do you like episodes like this? Or, alas, do you like this long project? From Professor DIY, Mrs. DIY and Alpida, let's renovate something together.